How are we, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's video. As always, I would ask you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section, drop a like on the video, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Look, the title seems a bit sensationalist. I understand that, but I hope you'll understand my side of this by the time this video is over. One of the fears that I've long held about looking back on Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool Football Club is that we have some regrets, some what-ifs, and I don't want that to be the case. I think we'll all agree that for us, Jurgen Klopp is a generational manager. He is somebody who we will look back on in many years' time as the man who delivered us the European Cup, as the man who broke the hoodoo about the league title, as the man who brought us our first Club World Cup, and lots of other things as well that we'll talk about, I'm sure, in many, many months and years ahead. But where I draw the line is with believing that he doesn't want to strengthen. And I can only square this off in my own mind if I genuinely like to think that it's because he's not getting backed in the market. And that's where I feel this is. We've seen a few little things from Jurgen Klopp over the past week or two that's starting to show some signs of frustration. And FSG have form here. If you're not sure what I'm speaking about, right now there's a few things doing the rounds on social media from Boston and from Red Sox fans who feel that another season is going to pass them by because John W. Henry won't put his hand in his pocket. Now, let's be realistic. We aren't going to go out and spend $250 million every transfer window. Nobody's expecting that. But this was supposed to be the window that we built up towards. The window that we were going to put right our problems and we were going to invest in the squad. So far, we've brought in a young right back who we haven't had the pleasure of watching play yet because unfortunately an injury was shown up. We wait to see how Calvin Ramsey gets on in the future. We have brought in Fabio Carvalho, who I think we'll all agree looks like an excellent talent. And we've brought in Darwin. That's it. That's the extent of our big window. Oh, and while we're speaking about the extent of this big window, 1.8 million net spend. Contrast that to other clubs who are still doing business. And we're once again being told that there is a plan, there's a succession plan. We don't like to do things for the here and now. We like to do it for the future. I would argue that we can absolutely do both. Look at our midfield makeup right now. We've got a good group of players in their late teens, early 20s, up to maybe 20. And then we've got players 27, 28, 29. We're lacking those players, the 22, 23, 24, 25 age category for me, the here and now players. We've done that with our attack. We've brought in Diaz. We've brought in Jota. We've refreshed the age a little bit there, as well as keeping on the players like Mohamed Salah, who obviously still have a lot still to contribute to the club. So look, I'm not somebody who normally comes on and just rants about FSG. I do attribute a lot of our success to FSG, and I'm very happy to show and highlight the good stuff that they've done for the club, as well as, of course, call them out for the stuff that I think that they've done wrong. But the consistent theme has always been that we just don't spend enough in the transfer market. And yes, I understand that there will be people who disagree with a lot of what I say and think that FSG are absolutely fantastic owners that have steadied the ship and have left us on an even financial footing. But where's the ambition? That's what I'm really questioning here. Where is the ambition? Because none of us can say that Jurgen Klopp has been backed as much as we could possibly back him in the window. That just simply isn't true. Right now, there's a potential talk about Naby Keita maybe going over to Borussia Dortmund at some point. And then, of course, that will link into people saying, let's get Bellingham right now. And look, in an ideal world, that would be great. But Keita shouldn't have a future at the club, in my opinion. Once again this week, after a big week, by the way, where it's been in the media that his agent wanted him to start this game, that it will be a big factor in his decision-making about whether he signs an extension at Liverpool or not. Shock horror, he pulls up injured and he's out again. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I would put in the same boat. Jordan Henderson, I think, is at the tail end of his Liverpool career, and I would not like to see him be a regular starter going forward because I think his form has been a bit too up and down. And look at the images on the heat map from where he played against Manchester United. He's supposed to be our deepest midfielder, and there was so many times where he was ahead of our attackers and further up the pitch. And he isn't Fabinho. Passing sideways and backwards is not going to break down stubborn defences. And look, I'm not saying Henderson only passes backwards and sideways, but in that particular game, I have to say I was one of the first times I've ever really gone and said, yeah, can't really argue against it, because I've always defended Henderson because he's a captain and I love the man. But to say that we don't or cannot improve in this transfer market is absolute nonsense of the highest order. And I wish that more people would start to come out and call FSG out on this stuff. People with vested interests who are, of course, a bit worried maybe about calling them out, because if they do, maybe their access will be denied, or maybe they won't get that interview that they want. Thankfully, We're in a position where I don't care about that. I only care about wanting the best for the club. And if it means calling out FSG on some stuff, I'll do it. Of course I will. And I'm sure you guys will do it as well. But here's where we are. We are a week away from the transfer window closing. And we are still no closer to bringing in midfield reinforcements, which many of us felt like we needed at the start of the window, before the injury crisis. Yes, we've been unlucky that Darwin picked up a red card in an attacking sense, which really hasn't helped with Jota being out. And Firmino, again, quite simply being finished as far as I'm concerned, at the very top for Liverpool, being a starter. Yes, he'll have a point or a part to play off the bench. Yes, he can be impactful in League Cup games. But I think we'll all agree that whatever Klopp was seeing with Bobby on the training pitch hasn't really translated onto the actual pitch. So we've issues there as well. But with Darwin coming back in a couple more games, they should be eased a little bit. We have no answers in midfield. We just don't. Thiago, we can't put another season on Thiago as our only creative midfield player. Keita, injured or not injured, I don't know, flip a coin, it'll depend. We certainly can't plan for another busy campaign that's going to be broken up with a World Cup and the season even longer. We need to act. We need to act like a big club, and we need to do it now. So, what does that mean for us as fans? What can we do? I don't know if being vocal on social media will help in any way, shape or form, and I certainly wouldn't encourage anybody to be abusive towards the owners of the football club. But they need to know that we're not idiots, we're not stupid, we can see what other clubs are doing, we know that there should be money available. And the biggest part of it all, and the title of this video is, I don't want FSG to destroy Jurgen Klopp's legacy at this club by not giving him the tools to succeed at his job. We're not asking them to go out there and break transfer records summer after summer. We're just asking them to be as competitive or to be as forward-looking as other clubs have been in the market. Manchester United out of the Champions League, still spending a lot of money. Chelsea still spending a hell of a lot of money, even with a new owner coming in and a very unsteady ship there that he's looking to put right. Arsenal invested a lot in the window. Spurs invested a lot in the window. Liverpool, 1.8 million net. Brought in Darwin, Fabio and Ramsey. That's it. That's our window. That was the one we're building up towards. That was the one that we were being told all last summer and all the way through, that we were cutting our cloth accordingly, that we were saving money and that we were going to invest. Now we're being sold the same pup that we're always sold. Next summer, next summer, next summer. Next summer means one thing. Another league campaign has gone by. Another title race has been given up to Manchester City. And we're relying on Jurgen Klopp to work miracles yet again. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Are we overreacting? Are we just unlucky with injuries? Or is there some validity to what I'm saying, that Jurgen Klopp's legacy is at risk because FSG are being too stingy? I refuse to believe we can't access funds. Nobody is saying go and put the club in danger. Nobody is saying put us into a load of debt. But absolutely, you can be sure that the equity that's been generated in our football club from when FSG took over to now, which by the way I've got no problem with, but let's invest some of that equity back into the playing staff. Let's not have another 1.8 million net spend window. We haven't had a window in a very long time where I've looked back on it and gone, yeah, the owners have stepped up here. Again, we're being found wanting, and we're only 3 games into the league campaign. 3 games, by the way, in which we haven't won a single one yet. Champions League draws tomorrow. There are many midfield options available. Tielemans' name has been doing the rounds today. I'm on the fence. I'm not really a fan of him in our system, but better than nobody. That's not where we want to be, though, is better than nobody. So I guess where I'm really going with this is, whoever Klopp's top 3 targets are, you've got a week. Go after them. Make a play for them. How can it harm us? Go out there and get Klopp the man that he wants. Because if not, we're looking at another season gone by with what ifs, and it could be a very, very long campaign. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Hopefully you guys will cheer me up with some good news or some positive inputs in the comment section, because I got to be honest, right now I am feeling, probably like many of you guys out there, very frustrated and wondering how the hell we've ended up in this position yet again. The lessons weren't learned from the centre-back situation. Here we are a year or so later, maybe a bit over a year later, going into a new season, still time to right these wrongs. And it feels like we haven't learned that lesson yet again. So look, let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye-bye.